So now that we know what a variable and a data type is, let's talk about declarations and assignments. A declaration is kind of like, just think of it as making a reservation, okay? Like if you're going to go to Applebee's, I don't know, on a Friday, and it's Tuesday, and so you call ahead and you call Applebee's and you say, hey, I'm going to bring a party of 4 in at 6 o'clock on a Friday, and we're going to have dinner there. So you make a reservation with Applebee's. Computers doing exactly the same thing. Java says with a declaration, okay, we've got this variable, it's called age, and it's a data type of an integer, so it's a number. It's going to be a number between negative 3 billion, positive 3 billion, and so we're going to make a reservation in system memory for age. So you're just telling the computer, hey, let's hold some space so I have enough room to make this reservation, so when I use age that there will be enough computer memory available for me, enough seats at the restaurant. And you do this with all of your declarations. You're just making reservations in computer memory so that you can use these variables. And the computer just sets memory aside so that'll be available. You can do that. Okay, once you have made all your declarations, you've made all your reservations, then you get to go ahead and do what's called the assignment. What the assignment does is that's like filling the reservation. It's showing up. So this time we said right up here, okay, I want to make a reservation in system memory for this variable called age. It's going to be a number. And then during the assignment, we say, okay, let age equal 17. So now that space in memory is actually filled with the number 17. And just go down the list. We've got Holly Keese, and right down here, Holly Keese is 3.14. So here's just the declaration, the reservation, and here's the assignment where we actually fill. We show up for the reservation. So understand they're two very different things. You can make as many declarations as you want to. Okay, declaration that you can make reservations all day long. You never have to show up to them. We can declare as many things as we want, and all we're doing is eating system memory. The assignment, where we actually show up for the reservation, if we show up for a reservation, if we assign it, we have to make sure that we've made the reservation. So first reservations, then assignments. So whenever we compile this, let's take a look at what actually happens. And we're going to look at a couple errors that we're going to get along the way. So whenever we run this, okay, the first time it runs just fine. So what happens if we don't make this reservation? Let's say we don't tell Java, we don't reserve space in system memory for the integer age. So we're going to comment that out. We're going to get an error, and that error is going to be a cannot find symbol error. You're going to see this quite often. A cannot find symbol error just says, look, you're using this variable age. Okay? And in the variable age, you've never told me that you were going to use it. In other words, we never made the declaration, so it cannot find the symbol. The most common type of cannot find symbol is that you misspelled something, maybe you capitalized something that you didn't capitalize the first time, such as Holly Keese. Okay? So whenever we do Holly Keese, there's a lowercase h and a capital K. Well, if you try to use the variable Holly Keese with all lowercase, you'll get a cannot find symbol error. If you ever see cannot find symbol, it just means you never made the declaration. So go check your declarations. So let's try the second time. Okay, so we've cleared that error out. How about if we don't make the assignment? Okay, so in other words, we've made the declaration, but we didn't show up for the reservation. Okay, and then we tried to use it. And we get a new kind of error, and it's variable might not have been initialized. The initialization error, well, that just means, all right, pretend you're the waitress at this restaurant and the boss is yelling at you and he's saying, hey, table 13, get them something to eat. And the waitress says, well, I don't know what to get them because they never told me what they wanted. They're not here. How can I bring them food when I don't know what they want to eat? Same thing is going on here. What you're saying is, down at this line, you're saying, hey, I want you to print age out to screen. Okay, whatever the age is. Well, the thing is, we've made a reservation for age right here, but we've never shown up for it. We never actually gave age a value. So how can it print something when we've never told it what age is? So that is, one more, I'm sorry, we'll look at this last one. This last one is what's called final. It's the final keyword in front of your declaration. And all final means is that it cannot be changed. So we've got this variable, it's called tax rate, and in tax rate it's a data type of double, which means it has a decimal point. Now, everything is fine. We can assign and reassign tax rate as many times as we want to. What the final keyword is, that makes it constant, which means right here we've assigned tax rate 0.077%. So we compile, we run, everything works fine. Oh, let's go ahead and fix that error. And we compile, Everything runs just fine. And go ahead and run it. Now, we can see right here, we've got the declaration double final, okay, and our tax rate, and we've got tax rate equals 0.07. Well, what happens if I just take this line tax rate and I just copy it and I try and change it again later on, okay? And let's say I try to change it to a 0.9. Well, if we compile that and we click run, well, we can't click run, we can't get that far, and it just says might have already been assigned. All that means is because we made it final right here, we can only assign it one time. That's it, no more. That prevents accidental, like if you've got important information like a tax rate, that you can't accidentally reassign it later on in code. And the same thing holds true. Let's suppose we assign it at runtime, or we assign it at the declaration. So tax rate equals, and we'll say 0.09. Okay, and we get the same error here that we tried to reassign again. So all the final keyword does is it makes tax rate a constant. And you'll notice tax rate is all in uppercase. That's just a convention that says if you ever see anything all in uppercase with an underscore, that means it cannot be changed or reassigned.